Good afternoon, everyone. The September 3rd, 2024 meeting of the Seattle City Council will come to order. It is 2:02. I'm Sarah Nelson, President of the City Council. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Hollingsworth, Councilmember Kettle, Councilmember Moore,
Present.
Councilmember Morales, Councilmember Rivera,
Present.
Councilmember Saka, Councilmember Strauss,
Present.
Councilmember Wu,
Present.
Council President Nelson.
Present.
9 present.
Thank you very much. Well, welcome back, everyone. I hope that you had a rejuvenating break because we're entering our final push to complete our actions on all the legislation that's been building up in the pipeline before budget officially starts, which is on September 24th officially. That's when the mayor transmits his proposed 2025-2026 biennial budget. And today we've got a really full agenda with 8 items, including the confirmation of Rob Lloyd as Chief Technology Officer of Seattle IT, which will give us the opportunity to hear some comments from him. So with that, let's move into our hybrid public comment period. Madam Clerk, how many people are signed up today?
We have about 29 in person and 8 remote.
Okay, let's give folks 1 minute each, and we'll start with 10 people who are present in person. Please go ahead and read the instructions.
Speakers will be called in the order in which they are registered. Speakers may be alternated between sets of in-person and remote speakers until the public comment period has ended. Speakers will hear a chime when 10 seconds are left of their time. Speakers' mics will be muted if they do not end their comments within the allotted time to allow us to call on the next speaker.
We'll begin with the first 10 speakers. It's speakers numbers 1 through 10. We have two sets of microphones if you'd like to line up. Thank you. Speaker number 1, Kathleen.
Good afternoon, Council. Please do not consider or place Initiative 137 before the Seattle voters. The proposed 5% payroll levy on salaries above $1 million will not be enough to fund this program. According to Bruce Ramsey's article in the Post-Alley newsletter dated March 21st of this year, this proposed housing program will not have background checks, rental references, co-signers on the leases, and no questions about citizenship or immigrant status. If this housing program is approved by the voters who failed to read the fine print, I believe that the money raised could quickly be wasted through lack of accountability and fraud. We all want more affordable housing. This isn't the way. I have an idea that won't cost the city a dime and provide more housing. Please relook at the current landlord-tenant laws and make it easier for small landlords to start renting out their empty properties without fear of mean and destructive renters that are almost impossible to evict. Thank you for your time.
Speaker number 2, Calvin Priest.
This attack on 15 is an attempt to fundamentally undermine Seattle's historic minimum wage. When Hollingsworth temporarily withdrew it, she said she'd work with stakeholders on a balanced solution. Working people know when corporate politicians talk about stakeholders, they don't mean us, they mean the wealthy. When they say balanced, they don't mean correcting the enormous imbalances under capitalism, they mean ramming them further down our throats. That's what this is about. Denying the lowest wage workers their raise and trying to create a permanent subclass. When we won 15, it led to it spreading around the country. If this passes, without a doubt, it will be used to attack workers everywhere. It's led by a Democrat who had union backing. It's the responsibility of union leaders now to fight hard to defeat this. To clarify, there will be no support from unions for any Democrat who votes for this, and to fully mobilize rank and file members of their unions to defeat this horrific attack.
Your fingers or do the hands or whatever and but refrain from clapping to let the next person speak. Go ahead, please.
My name is Matt Pascash. I'm a resident of the Capitol Hill neighborhood, and I'm here to speak in opposition to any attempts to maintain this unfair 2-tier minimum wage system that is currently in place in Seattle and will hopefully phase out next year. I should know a bit about this. I spent most of my 20s working in food service, and I happen to have been a labor economist, so I can speak personally when I could say that businesses who can't afford to pay their workers a living wage, frankly, don't deserve to be in business. They're terrible at their jobs as business owners. And also, I just want to say as well that any city council folks who were out at the pickets this weekend, let's see you put your money where your mouth is. If you support workers, allow this two-tier system to get scrapped so that all workers can play on a level playing field and make a decent living wage. Thank you.
I'm Shama Sawant. Every single council member here is a Democrat. I assume every single one, bar one, is likely to vote in favor of the attack on our historic $15 an hour minimum wage victory, the attack that District 3 Council Member Hollingsworth shamelessly brought forward and was forced to withdraw because working people, union members, Workers Strike Back, and Restaurant Workers United forced her to temporarily back off. I assume Councilmember Morales will not support this attack. Voting against anti-worker legislation is necessary, obviously, but it is literally the bare minimum you could do, Councilmember Morales, for workers as a sitting elected official. It is in no way adequate for you to sit on the sidelines and then vote on the bill when it comes, prioritizing your peaceful relations with big business and the Democratic establishment. If I had done just the bare minimum, or even not even the bare minimum like most Democrats, the best working people would never have won historic victories like the $15 minimum wage, Amazon tax, and renters' rights. That's why Workers Strike Back is calling for a new party for working people.
We're now at speaker number 5.
I pledge allegiance to the flag and the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I also came here to speak from personal experience for the fact that fierce competition amongst those organizations for city funding and how there's no accountability from the grant recipients and how that money was spent, or even if it was spent at all and for the purposes it was intended. And with that said, I want to give kudos to those organizations in the South End that are doing what they're saying they're going to do with the funding that they get. One is Simona Burleson with Gifts of Hope. She served over 2,000 people at her back-to-school badge. And she did a private event for the Emerson School because of the poorest school in the district, and she served over 600 people. So, Sabrina Ford with Repair and Restore Missionary Outreach. She served several agencies with food for us. There are several others, Iana's Hands, Elijah One Brown, Angie Mosley with Double Dutch Divas, and Pastor Herman Akins with Peter's Sound Food Distribution.
Thank you.
All right. Good afternoon, council members. My name is Alexander Olson. I'm a resident of District 6, and I'm a member of Workers Strike Back. I'm here to speak in the strongest possible terms against any potential rollback of minimum wage protections for small business workers. This council did the right thing a month ago when they withdrew their initial proposal to set the current two-tier system in stone. However, it is deeply concerning that we are now threatened with a renewal of these attacks. It's deeply concerning to me, and it's deeply concerning to the countless working people of this city. The cost of living is skyrocketing. Small business employees need relief, not a permanent status as second-class workers. For many of us, it is becoming less and less feasible to even work for small businesses at all because these sub-minimum wages are not enough to live. We are calling on this council to side with the working class. We're calling on you to fund affordable housing, to tax big business, to fund residential and commercial rent control instead of attacking nearly 250,000 vulnerable workers and making them foot. You need to remember that you work for us because make no mistake, come election season, the working class of Seattle won't forget who's on our side and who isn't. Thank you for your time.
We're at speaker number 7.
My name is Gwendolyn Hart. I'm a tech worker and a Workers Strike Back activist. Last month, we all came here to stand against the outrageous bill proposed by Councilmember Joy Hollingsworth that would have cemented a permanent lower-tier minimum wage for over 200,000 of Seattle's most vulnerable workers, and we forced its retraction. We said then that Hollingsworth should apologize for bringing forward such a brazen and blatant attack on working people's livelihoods. But instead, she's gone out in public comment and said that she'll work with stakeholders to find a balanced solution. Working people, we see through these honeyed words. Any attack on the minimum wage is an anti-worker and anti-union bill. No business, big or small, has the right to subsist by exploiting its vulnerable workers. This same city council has spent 10 years fighting against every bill that would have helped working people and small businesses, including taxing big corporations like Amazon, who made huge profits out of the pandemic. But city council is taking money out of the pockets of working people. Seattle has landmark progressive legislation like 15 because they were won by strong movements of working people, and that is what you are up against here. And any council member who supports an attack on the minimum wage will be brought down in the next election.
We're speaker number 8.
Greetings, City Council. My name is Rachel Snell. I'm speaking on behalf of every car owner, including my friends, that has had the unfortunate experience of dealing with the mismanagement of Lincoln Towing. For years, they've engaged in mistreatment of vehicles they tow, and oftentimes do not allow car owners to review camera footage to see what happened to their car. They often engage in illegal searching of vehicles they tow and sandwich cars in between other vehicles, making it impossible for car owners to retrieve their car. The staff at Lincoln Towing have often been noted and described as unfriendly and unprofessional. Lincoln Towing is a criminal towing company that must be held accountable for the crimes and the damage they've caused countless car owners. The city of Seattle should be embarrassed to have a contract with this company. We, the citizens of Seattle, demand better. Thank you.
Speaker number 9.
Adeline Braverman. I am a restaurant worker here to express my concern about the two-tiered minimum wage. I have personally suffered the consequences of this. I struggle to make ends meet working nearly 50 hours a week. Recently had to move to a new apartment and went through application after application getting denied because I didn't make 3 times the monthly rent. I really ask you to consider what you're doing here and please give us some relief.
And we're at the last in-person speaker for this set. Speaker number 10, Sean.
Hello, my name is Sean Case. I'm a restaurant worker here in Seattle for the past 8 years. I've also been a resident of District 3 for that entire time. I've spent the last month or so since City Council decided to attack the raise that restaurant workers are expecting next year, talking to other workers in the industry and restaurants, cafes, bars, about what City Hall and business lobbyists are trying to do. And the overwhelming response I've gotten is anger and confusion. People are asking why you would prevent a pay raise to some of the lowest paid workers in the city. You'll hear a lot of myths from the business lobbyists about high-paid tipped workers, but the reality is that this raise would be absolutely life-changing for so many of us in the industry. Like my friend who just spoke before me, I've struggled to afford to live in the city, to work in the city. I currently pay nearly 50% of my paycheck every month to rent. It's completely unsustainable. If you actually want to help small businesses, institute commercial rent control, municipal banking, give them commercial leasing preference, expand late night transit. There are so many things you could do that would actually help rather than step on workers. Thank you.
We'll now move into remote speakers. And for remote speakers, a reminder, when you hear a message, you have been unmuted, please press *6 to unmute your phone. Our first remote speaker is Sonia Ponath, and following Sonia, Rajhav Kaushik. Please go ahead, Sonia. And Sonia, you may need to press *6.
Okay. Hi, I'm an organizer with Workers Strike Back. Years ago, I was a small business owner, literally small, I mean a couple of employees, and I am opposed to any attacks on our city's historic $15 minimum wage law. As an owner, what I really needed was people with money in their pockets to walk in my door and buy my services. I also needed commercial rent control because that was my biggest expense. At the time, I found a work-study state program that helped businesses who hired college students. And as an employer, I was reimbursed 65% of the wages. We need those kinds of subsidies, not anti-worker laws. Amazon has raked in record profits. And our movement fought and won the Amazon tax, which should be used to increase to create small business programs, while I'm hearing that you're planning to use it to fill your budget holes. And some of these business owners who say they consider employees family, please, that is just rank political gaslighting. These are not struggling business owners. Anyone who's legit is not a.
Thank you. Our next, excuse me, our next speaker is Rajhav Kashik, and following Rajhav is Barbara Finney. Go ahead, Rajhav.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm a tech worker speaking in solidarity with the minimum wage workers in the broad working class in opposition to any attempt to weaken the Seattle minimum wage law. There was an attempt made last month by Council Member Hollingsworth to create a permanent two-tiered system, minimum wage system, condemning a large number of workers to a sub-minimum wage that would have fundamentally undermined Seattle's minimum wage law and denied desperately needed raises to many minimum wage workers who were scheduled to get such a raise on Jan 1st. The attempt was cruel and was defeated because of the outcry of committed activists led by Workers Strike Back. There is now the stench of a revised bill along the same lines being proposed. I'm calling to express my strong opposition to any such revisions. My message to council members is hands off our minimum wage.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Barbara Finney, and following Barbara will be Alberto Alvarez. Go ahead, Barbara.
I'm a union retiree member of American Federation of Government Employees, a retired registered nurse, a Seattle homeowner in District 5, and a member of Workers Strike Back. Working in food service at a sub-minimum wage, making tips, was a long time ago for me, but I won't ever forget the struggle to pay rent and get by, even with affordable housing then in some of Seattle neighborhoods, long gone now. Today, I'm speaking in solidarity with and in support of Seattle minimum wage workers who are due to get a pay raise starting January 1st. These workers in Seattle are going to concretely benefit because of the 15 Now movement's historic Seattle minimum wage legislation that lifted the floor for workers in Seattle and has had an uplifting effect for workers across the U.S. To deny desperately needed pay raises to workers scheduled to get that pay is a no-go, council. Hands off our minimum wage.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Alberto Alvarez, and following Alberto will be Ariana Riley. Go ahead, Alberto.
Working people drive the Seattle economy. We demand fair wages, not rollbacks. We demand affordable housing, not more condos. Our spending drives the tax revenue. We will build a better city. We pay the rents and mortgages to these billion-dollar banks and corporations. Wealthy companies have no care for the places where we live, love, and thrive. We demand more. We demand better. We are working. We are watching. We are taking the city back. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Ariana Riley. Ariana will be Maddie Dinks. Go ahead, Ariana.
Hello, my name is Ariana Riley. I would like to start by welcome everybody back and just to say that to the council members, I really wish that you all would focus on improving the lives of Seattleites and attacking wages, whether that be for delivery drivers or for restaurant workers. If not that, bringing back a policy that amounts to stop and frisk is not that. There was a guy that came to public comment a few months back now and said that he wanted a kindness initiative in the city of Seattle for people to say, hi, how are you doing when they walk past each other on the street. Now, the proposed soap bill will literally criminalize engaging passerby in conversations. Do you guys want to make it illegal for somebody to say, hi, how are you doing when you walk past other people on the street? Go after real problems like SPD not investigating rape. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Maddie Dinks, and following Maddie will be Maggie Hubbard. Go ahead, Maddie.
Hi, my name is Maddie. I am a rank and file member of SEIU 925 and a volunteer with Workers Strike Back. I'm calling in today to demand that this attack on the $15 minimum wage is not put back on the agenda. To say that you care about working people in this city, to say that you care about small businesses, while you are threatening the livelihoods of 200,000 people, and refusing to even hear the solutions that would actually make small businesses more sustainably able to support their workers that they so dramatically claim to care about, is disingenuous and it's disgusting. There have been proposals that would plug the hole for businesses that actually need the help, but when you have people who have multiple businesses, including folks who are blatantly lying and being called out about it, then we know that it's just completely false and it's a betrayal to workers, and we're paying attention.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Maggie Hubbard, and following Maggie will be Arlie Gould. Go ahead, Maggie.
My name is Maggie Hubbard. I'm speaking out against the attacks on minimum wage laws. I've been a small business employee for almost 10 years of my life and have been at Cherry Street Coffee House the last 2 years. I live paycheck to paycheck, struggling to buy groceries to feed myself just to pay rent in the city. This bill being pushed and having my very own employer push against it, I've realized it's important that we all stand up for what little rights me and my fellow employees do have. I think it's really important we're allowed to speak here today to show you we do matter, we're struggling, and our narrative is just as important. We do not believe we should overlook our struggles, our rights, and our mental health to feel sorry for businesses we rely on to live. There's an unfair power dynamic there, and it's not fair. We forget the common enemy and that we can be employees and owners together. Not passing this law will have consequences, as we are not going to stand by while our basic rights are taken away. And that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Our last remote speaker signed up is Arlie Gould. Go ahead, Arlie. And remember, you may need to press, oh, you got it. Thanks.
Hi, my name is Arlie Gould. I actually live in Amherst, Massachusetts. I'm a supporter of Workers Strike Back, and I have to say I've always looked at Seattle as this amazing place that gave this raise, and it's very disheartening to hear that you're wanting to take this away from so many workers. So please keep Seattle this beacon of forward thinking, and even if you were brought to it through pressure from below, you know, the town council, you know, did do it finally. So keep up that beautiful work. And I just want to say, I just heard a wonderful talk about something Abraham Lincoln said, that labor is superior to capital. Without labor, there is no capital. And our own Abraham Lincoln said that. So please be respectful of labor and let.
That was our last remote speaker signed up.
That was the last speaker in the set. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
That's correct.
Thank you. We will now move on to in-person speakers. We're going to be moving on to speakers numbers 11 through 20. If you can please line up at these two sets of microphones. So we can start with number 11, which is Margot Stewart.
That's me. Hey, my name is Margot. I'm a member of Workers Strike Back. I live and work on Capitol Hill. I'm here, like others, to oppose the attack on our $15 minimum wage from the Council Democrats. You know, as others have said, it was our movement that forced my council member Hollingsworth to withdraw the shameful attack last month. That's on over 20,000 of the city, or 200,000, excuse me, of the city's most vulnerable workers. And we know that we've been promised a more quote unquote balanced solution. I don't think there's any balanced way of making working people pay for the current prices to defend the profits of, you know, some of the city's biggest businesses, using small business as a shield. I think the only balanced way to accomplish this is to give workers the deals they were promised and then fight for things like an expanded tax on Amazon and commercial rent control. I know this is just the first of many attacks, which is why it's important we get organized now. I know people like Councilmember Moore on our renters' rights, things like the winter evictions ban. And I just want to say that I agree with what Shama says, that any council member who's going to vote against this, you can't just stay silent and then vote when it comes to it. You need to actually be out here with our movement if you actually oppose this.
Hello, I'm Eva. I'm a member of Workers Strike Back and a line cook here in Seattle. It's infuriating that City Council Democrats have proposed cutting workers' wages by making the two-tiered wage system permanent. Councilmember Hollingsworth claims that this is how to help small business owners after the pandemic. That's incorrect. If small businesses are struggling after the pandemic, the answer is not to make their workers pay for it, but to fight to expand the Amazon tax and pass commercial rent control. I worked throughout the pandemic, and it was workers who were hit the hardest. My coworkers and I rely on tips to get by, and it's a struggle to make ends meet, especially during slow periods. It's insulting that the council member for my district, Joy Hollingsworth, is already promising to undermine our wins as workers, specifically the $15 minimum wage Victoria Sawant's office won in 2014. It's also insulting to find out that she accepted endorsements from labor unions and is now trying to cut our wages. This is why I am a member of Workers Strike
Back. We're at speaker number 13, Luke, and then followed by Luke would be Min.
And if you, could you please, everyone in the audience who signed up to speak, please track the number that we're on and be ready to speak when the next person has spoken.
Okay, we're going to move on. So speaker number 13 is showing us not present so far. Number 14. Speaker number 15. Keith. Is that you?
I'm Keith, a District 3 vegan voter, and I wake up in a 200 square foot shoebox that I pay $1,100 a month for that I can't use the kitchen sink in because the pipe in the basement burst and somebody else has to move out, and I've been retaliated against, I've been entered illegally, all kinds of things. I have all the receipts right here. I keep showing them to you. The SDCI took almost a year to investigate this stuff, including common areas. Now, the labor violations, I've told you these about these two before. That was wage theft, tip theft, overtime theft, the owners taking tips, us not getting our breaks, not getting our PSST, paid sick safe time, and they're falsifying records. So what's the point anymore of playing capitalism? You tell me. My time.
Number 16, Patrick, followed by Josie.
Hi, I'm Patrick Gibson. I live in District 3. When this attack on the minimum wage was first introduced, a number of business owners came here to speak in favor of the attack. I have sympathy for small business owners who are genuinely struggling. The City Council should tax big business to support small businesses who are willing to open their books. But the worries of many of the business owners who spoke ring hollow. One example is Susanna Domdere, the owner of Lassie and Spice. She claimed publicly that ending the two-tier system would increase her payroll by 20% and would very likely cause her to close her doors. When interviewed by The Stranger, she was forced to concede that she already pays $20 an hour and that the end of this two-tier system wouldn't affect her at all. In other words, this sympathetic small business owner dredged up by the Seattle Restaurant Association lied. Susanna Domdere isn't your neighborhood business owner. She's also a former VP at JP Morgan Chase and a former executive at Starbucks. That's who's behind this attack on Seattle's lowest paid workers that we will continue to build a movement to fight against.
Please refrain from chanting and clapping in between. I've been tracking the time in between while there is clapping, and it doesn't sound much on a case-by-case basis, but it does add up. 15 seconds here, 20 seconds there, 10 seconds there. So please continue with your comments.
Hello, my name is Josie Ebelhardt. I'm a social worker and a member of the Washington Federation of State Employees, Local 889. This attack on the minimum wage from the Democrats on City Council is shameful and a direct attack on hundreds of thousands of workers in the city of Seattle. As a social worker, I work with some of the most vulnerable people in this city who rely on this victory that was won 10 years ago. City Council is constantly trying to find solutions to the housing and homelessness crisis in the city, and yet when offered easy solutions like living wages and rent control, you turn your heads. By viciously attacking the minimum wage, the city Democrats are leaving working people to fend for ourselves. Many of the city council members here today were elected because of the support and endorsements of unions. You claim to be pro-labor and pro-worker, yet a vote to weaken the minimum wage or bring forward this legislation again would be explicitly anti-union and anti-worker. And any Democrat who supports this attack on the minimum wage does not deserve a continued endorsement from any union or to be reelected ever again.
We're at speaker number 18.
My name is Carly. I'm a member of Workers Strike Back. Hollingsworth's minimum wage bill was straight up anti-worker and anti-union. The last time we were in City Hall, when we forced her to withdraw her bill, we said she needs to apologize to Seattle workers. She has not apologized. Instead, she has promised to bring back another bill. Any council member who attacks our minimum wage victory needs to be booted out of City Hall in their next election. Saving jobs by paying workers less is not only bad economics, it's exploitation. And we will not stand for it, not here and not anywhere. Thank you.
My name is Shirley Henderson. I'm a queer small business owner in the Central District, and I'm here to oppose any attack on our historic minimum wage law. We see through the BS of bringing back with balanced solutions. When Councilmember Hollingsworth put forward her anti-worker bill last month, she said it was motivated by concern for small business owners who were suffering from sustained losses from the pandemic. This claim is ludicrous. In reality, when small businesses were suffering under COVID and the large majority of aid subsidies were going to big business, not small, neither Seattle nor DC Democrats lifted a finger to stand up for us. Nor have they been willing to take any progressive action to help small businesses like expanding Amazon tax or fighting for commercial rent control. Instead, they're choosing to go after our city's lowest paid workers. Additionally, if Democrats and big business are allowed to attack 15 in Seattle, they will be able to attack it in other cities across the nation. That's why this attack in Seattle's minimum wage is an attack on workers everywhere. Hands off 15.
We're at speaker number 20.
My name is Kaylin Nicholson. I'm a renter in District 5 and a working mom of 2. Councilmember Hollingsworth explained the motivation for her attempt to deny low-wage workers a $3 an hour raise and create a permanent 2-tiered sub-minimum wage as Shirley just said, concern for the impact of COVID and inflation on small business. But what about the impact of those same factors on low wage, the hundreds of thousands of low wage and service sector workers who sacrificed unimaginably, literally put their lives on the line during COVID, who have seen their average rents double in the last decade, let alone the other cost of living inflation costs? Where's the concern for the hundreds of thousands of us? If you're really concerned for small business, why didn't you give them relief during COVID? Why don't you pass commercial and residential rent control when rent is cited as one of the main burdens on small business? Why don't you increase the Amazon tax on the richest corporations in the city who are the ones driving inflation with their greed? Many studies have shown. I think the answer is obvious. This is actually an attack that is in the interest of big business, not small business, not workers. And any council
Stop, please. Thank you. Your time is up. Thank you very much.
against it should be voted out in the next election.
We're now moving into the next set of 10. So it'll be speaker numbers 21 through 30. And we're going to be starting with Bennett. Speakers numbers 21 through 30.
So you all probably heard
city attorney issued a memo a couple of weeks ago barring Judge Pooja Vajati from hearing any criminal cases and saying that she mishandled a case involving a fake handgun or something. And Judge Vajati took the unusual step of responding recently in an editorial in The Stranger that you probably heard about, where she said that, she looked up she tried to find the handgun case that the city attorney was talking about and said, there's no case that I've heard that matches this description. As far as they are either misrepresenting something or making it up. The city attorney should say what case they're talking about. Just give us like the case number or the defendant name. It's public record. There's no privacy issue here. But a lawyer should not be, including the city's attorney's office, should not be like attacking a judge like that. But if they're going to do it on the basis of a case, they should name the specific case that it is. They're not acting like a lawyer, acting a lot more like a politician. It's more stereotypical than anything I've ever seen. And I'm including the vegan guy who always mentions that he's vegan, even though it has nothing to do with anything. Thank you.
Speaker number 22.
Open time. Hello, my name is Alex Zimmerman. And I want to speak right now to Council Tanya Wu. For my understanding, she will support right now open better room in City Hall. So 700,000 people will appreciate her. I remember her probably for another 100 years and totally support her. It is very important right now because she's a minority, I am a minority, and 100,000 people minority. Speak here for 1 minute. So this Nazi fascist junta, you know what it means? Control us totally. Tanya Wu, Bruce, please support this. Your name will be in American, in Seattle history, and everybody will support you. I guarantee you, I'm Alex Zimmerman, guarantee you, everybody will support you. Open the room in City Hall 1 day per week for 3 minutes, so everybody can speak. Look, this idiot who here. They accept this 1 minute for many time. Tanya Wu, please support this idea. You will be unique. Don't be scared, baby.
Thank you very much.
All right, speaker number 23.
Hello.
Speaker number 23, I believe it's...
Everybody will be vote for you. You understand?
Right, we're going to move on to speaker number 24.
Hi, I am ashamed that I speak the same language with this man. Sorry. I am Russian speaker as well. So 10 years ago, I participated in a beautiful movement, 15 now, with Kshama Savant. And we marched our way to victory, huge victory, not only for Seattle, but for whole country, because it had domino effect. Other cities pick up this message, and they did good thing for their workers. So it's increased economy just became thriving under this rule because people could hire more people, and people who were, small businesses who were against at first, they realized that it's good for them, good for their business to have a higher level of wages, not to put people down, but raise them up economically. So everybody who votes against this will be voted out. I mean, for this.
All right, speaker number 24.
My name is Long. I'm a member of Workers Strike Back. Businesses with 500 or so employees are not small, but somewhere between Zeke's and Pagliacci-sized chains with 13 to 20 locations. Let's be clear, the real intention of this legislation is to begin to dismantle our progressive $15 per hour law on behalf of big business. Hollingsworth's attempt to make the lower tier wage permanent is just a first step down that path. If our community lets the city council get away with this, attack, it will only embolden them and the big business interests they serve to keep attacking our minimum wage and other progressive victories, including renters' rights. And such a bill would not be a blow to workers in this city alone. If any rollback of our minimum wage is successful in Seattle, the attacks will spread to other major cities across the country, attacking the wages of millions of workers we cannot let that happen. The labor movement needs to be to rescind the endorsement of these council members, and the rank and file members in unions need to attack here as well, fight here as well.
Hi, my name is M. Smith. I'm a renter in District 3. I'm a member of Workers Strike Back. This past weekend, more than 10,000 hotel workers with Unite Here went on strike around the country, including in Seattle. Their slogan that they've popularized across the country is "One job should be enough." I saw Councilmember Kettle at that picket line yesterday carrying a "One job should be enough" sign. Do council members believe that one job should be enough? Councilmember Kettle, do you believe that one job should be enough? Because the legislation that you're pushing that would create a second-tier minimum wage would ensure that one job is not enough in Seattle to survive. Those hotel workers are making $21, $22 an hour, and they have to work second jobs. The second-tier minimum wage that you're trying to enshrine is $17.25. That is not enough to survive in the city of Seattle. Those workers are counting on the more than $3 an hour raise that's due to them at the beginning of the year. We won that through a movement of working people. It's going to take a movement of working people to defend it. If people in this room agree with what we're talking about, join Workers Strike Back, get organized to fight back against the Democrats on the city council and big business who are trying to roll back our minimum wage victory. And we need to make sure that labor gives not an ounce of support
Thank you.
to any council member who votes in favor.
Next speaker, please.
We're at speaker number 26.
Hi, my name is Michael, and I'm here to speak out against this bill being pushed allowing small businesses to pay their tipped workers sub-minimum wage. To be honest, these Democrats claim it's a pro-small business bill, but it's the exact opposite. Workers like me and all of my friends need minimum wage to be $20 an hour. That's just it. It's not livable any other way. The support of this greed shown in this bill, where business owners believe they should be able to exploit their workers more and not change their failing business model, is truly just insane. Choose your actions wisely, because young people like myself and workers in the city are watching, and it will ensure that you do not sit in seats like this come next election season. While you elected officials disrespect us like Joy, tuning out of the meeting, swapping through your 5 Facebook tabs, and scoff in your chairs at our words, know that young people like myself are watching. You have a very small time frame, and we will make sure you will not sit in here again. Thank you for your time, because you won't have much left.
My name is Jory Duval. I am a tip barista here in Seattle, and I'm here to speak out against the attack on our historic minimum wage law. Our boss spoke here on July 30th, fighting to keep our wages low in order to keep his business afloat. This threatens our livelihoods and our ability to keep serving the city that we love. With the cost of living constantly on the rise, we demand to have a pay that allows us to keep up with this inflation. You make decisions about minimum wage workers that can devastate their lives while going out to a restaurant the same night. You eat the bagels we toast, drink the coffee we brew, and drop crumbs down your shirt that later we will sweep. We are interconnected whether you'd like to admit it or not. You cannot swing the hammer and also partake in the benefits of our labor without being a hypocrite. If you vote to undermine our city's historic minimum wage victory, you will face political consequences come re-election time. Thank you.
Speaker number 28.
Hello, my name is Lauren Boyan. I am a proud AFSCME member in WFC Council 28, Local 443, worker in the state government and resident of District 8. And I'm also a former front and back of house worker. I'm here to speak against any initiative to roll back the 2025 merging of the 2-tier minimum wage ordinance. This is an existential threat to workers everywhere. Working conditions in service industries can be the Wild West, and this council has a moral and ethical obligation to uplift our most vulnerable workers, because you're basically the negotiators at the table for how this state or how this city does business. And we need you to be in good faith and support those workers, support them having a living wage and their spending power, because economic development is creating living wage jobs, not supporting bosses and rolling back and subsidizing labor. Hands off 15.
My
My name is Gray Martin, Harborview worker, rank and file member of WIFC 3488 and Workers Strike Back. Any attack on 15, if it passes, would embolden big business to carry out further attacks, including renters' rights, beginning with rolling back the bans on winter and school year evictions. Our 15 Now movement's victory, led by Shama Sawant and other socialists, was the first of any major city and led to further victories in cities and states around the country. If any rollback of our minimum wage is successful in Seattle, the attacks will spread to other major cities across the country, attacking the wages of millions of workers. I joined West End hotel workers striking this week for higher wages and staffing. I support Cherry Street coffee workers who are fighting for a better workplace and an end to sexual harassment from their employer. Local WISC unions will have a walkout September 10th at noon. If the Democrats move forward with this proposal, we must respond by voting them out of office. They are attacking the minimum wage. Next will be renters' rights. Labor movements need to rescind their endorsements of their council members. Keep your hands off our minimum wage, fight for your constituents, pass rent control, and not support wealthy lobbyists. Hands off 15.
Stop. That is disruptive.
Hi, my name is Eric. I'm with Workers Strike Back. I'm here to support everybody in keeping the legislation in place to raise the minimum wage to $20 an hour, not have the tiered system. People need at least $20 an hour. It's not even sufficient with the cost of living that we have these days, but it is a bare minimum to at least stick to your word, stick to the legislation, don't try to roll back. Prices aren't rolling back. Cost of living is not rolling back. Nothing is rolling back. There's no reason to be rolling any of this back. People deserve a living wage. People deserve to live without struggling constantly. Just having one job, that is all people need. And hands off 15.
We have our last speaker. It is Stacy Chambers.
Hi, I am Stacy Chambers. I am 1 year new to residency here in Washington and Seattle. I'm a former New Jersey State Trooper. I am legally blind. I have some sight. I want to know what police are doing. I saw on Google there was a bank robbery here in Seattle in the Queen Anne district. It was at my bank, not my branch, but my bank. I recognized the robber. I called the police department 11 times. No callbacks. I called an additional 4 times, was transferred to the detectives unit, also to the robbery unit. No calls. Asked for the chief of police. They weren't allowed to transfer me there. What is this city doing?
That's our last speaker.
Thank you. The public comment period is now closed. We'll move on to our next item, which is the consideration of Initiative 137. Initiative 137 is before Council for consideration. The Council will continue to consider the options provided by the Charter within the allotted 45 days provided. We're joined by Jen Lebrecht to answer questions. Jen Lebrecht, analyst on Central Staff. In anticipation of questions, we'll suspend the rules. If there's no objection, the rules will be suspended to allow Council Central Staff to address the Council. Hearing no objection, the rules are suspended and we'll proceed with discussion of Initiative 137. Are there any comments from council members or questions for Jen?
Jen is currently not present. We're going to be making sure she's on her way.
Would you like to hold, Councilmember Morales, you were about to
I do have
speak.
questions, but she's not here to answer them, so.
Okay, we'll be at ease until she returns.
Okay.
Unless you think it's an easy one that I could answer.
I'll wait.
Okay. Where did you say she is? Go ahead, Councilmember Morales,
Sorry
with your
about that.
question. It's okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for being here. So we have an initiative before us, and I think this is an opportunity for the viewing public to understand what our options are here, and really just for us to have a discussion in public about the voter initiative to help our neighbors understand the process for moving it forward. These processes can seem a little obscure sometimes, so for transparency's sake, I think it's important for the public to hear what we're contemplating about this work. So I'm wondering if you could just start with very clear, what are our options as a council when it comes to how to move this or what to do with the initiative that we've received?
Okay, happy to do so. So council's options in terms of what to do with a voter initiative are all laid out in the city charter. And council has 3 options and only 3 options when it comes to an initiative. One is that it can enact the initiative, in which case it becomes law and it does not get sent to the voters. The second option is that council can choose to send the initiative to voters just directly without enacting it, so it goes to the voters for consideration. And then the third option is that city council can create an alternative. If city council chooses to do that, then both the alternative and the original initiative go to voters for consideration.
Okay. So,
can I ask a question based on something that she just said? When you say send the initiative to the ballot, that happens by voting on a resolution, correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
So under the city charter, city council has to pass a resolution directing King County elections to place the initiative on a ballot. And that resolution also has to state what ballot it will go on or what election it will go on.
And that resolution is linked to the agenda. It is resolution 32142.
So I just want to be clear that not sending this to King County elections is not an option. Right? This is an administrative task for us.
Sorry to interrupt. Under the city charter, city council has to pass a resolution directing King County elections to place it on the ballot, unless, of course, they take option number 1, which would be just to enact it directly.
And do we have, if you can say, is there anybody working on an alternative, or should we just proceed with moving the resolution for a special election forward?
I can't answer the second part of that question, and I think that would be probably best just to address to your colleagues in terms of whether anyone is working on an alternative.
Okay. Thank you. That's part of why I'm asking for this discussion, because I would be interested to know if there is an alternative in the works. We only have 3 more council meetings to meet our deadline, including today's meeting. So if we are still supposed to contemplate an alternative and make a decision about that, we're running out of time. So I would be interested to know if there is an alternative that is being worked on. And if there's not, I would like, I know we did have a resolution drafted. My understanding is that it had the November 2024 date on it, and we missed the deadline for having that ballot considered, which means that our next opportunity is February 2025. I think we do have an amended resolution that I'd be interested in considering. And so I just want to be clear that we have 2 weeks left, 3 if we include today's meeting, to submit either the resolution with the ballot title and the date, or the resolution and an alternative that we have discussed and proposed.
And to follow up on that, I was going to note in my closing comments on this item that that the agenda for the 17th is quite full. So it is my strong preference that we act well before then. So.
Okay. So
the next meetings are on September 10th and September 17th.
Okay. So I not sure what the right procedure is here, but I would be interested in having the resolution that is amended for the February 2025 ballot voted on next week at the council meeting. Is that the next opportunity?
Yes, that is the next opportunity. Okay. And I note your preference or your request.
Okay. Okay. If anybody else has anything else to say?
If there is no other comment, Councilmember Strauss.
Just in response to your question, Councilmember Morales, my response is not appropriate for public session, but would be in an executive session. That's what I'll leave it at today. Thank you.
I'm sorry, I don't understand that I don't understand that.
I'm happy to speak with you privately or in executive session.
Okay, well, we have to have a public discussion about what our options are. The point of having this as an information item is so that we can share with the public what we're contemplating. And if we're contemplating an alternative, I think the public deserves to know that we're contemplating an alternative. We don't have the details of it per se, but
fair enough.
We're running out of time.
So Councilmember Morales, in a public session, not...
Wait, please.
Yep, please. May I,
like
Council President?
Respond? Yes.
Thank you kindly. There was legal advice shared with us in an executive session, which I asked for more time to speak with our lawyers, which I'm doing. And if I'm going to sit up here and explain what our legal opinions were shared, then we'd be breaching attorney-client privilege. So that's why I said I'd be happy to share with you either offline or in an executive session. I'm not trying to hide the ball. I'm just trying to be responsive to you. Thank you.
And I'll just say one more time that if there are legal issues with this resolution, that is to be decided by the courts once it has been approved by the voters.
Thank you very much. We are now closing this discussion, unless anybody else would like to speak, because we're getting into the sharing of client privilege here.
May I have a...
Go ahead. Yes, go ahead.
I just have a question.
Pause. Do not speak during the session. We are done with public comment. It is closed. We are now conducting our business. Go ahead, Councilmember Moore.
Thank you, Chair. Can I just get clarification as to what needs to happen for this to go to a vote next week?
Two things would need to happen. One, there is a resolution that has been prepared, and that was, sorry, I'm getting stuck on the mechanics here. It was on the August 6th agenda, but I believe that it was pulled from that IRC calendar. So there is a resolution that has been prepared. That resolution would direct King County Elections to place it on the November 2024 general election ballot. That deadline has come and gone. And so council would need to both pass the resolution, but also amend the resolution to send the initiative to the February 2025 special election, which is the next available election on which to place this initiative question.
May I just do a follow-up question?
Yes.
So can that amendment be done before the next meeting, or would it need to be a walk-on? Council President.
That I requested that amendment, and it is linked on the when you hit the on the agenda. When you hit the link to the agenda, I mean to the resolution, and then you go to the page which has supporting documents. That amendment does make that change. So we would have to approve of that amendment, and then approve the base legislation, which is the resolution.
Okay. Thank you for the clarification.
I have a question, Council President.
Go ahead.
If I may. Jennifer, thanks for being here. I just want to clarify that regardless, we have until September 20th?
Yes.
Is it 20th?
That is correct. You have till September 20th, 2024 to take action, those three options that were described before.
And then we will vote to put it on the February ballot. That's the soonest it could go on a ballot, correct?
That is correct. The next available election on which this initiative could go on the ballot is February 2025.
And so from now to the 20th, if we have questions, it's not going to delay putting it on the February ballot, which is the soonest ballot, correct?
Say your question again. I want to make sure I understand
Yeah,
it.
as long as we vote before the 20th, it doesn't impact the ability to put it on the February ballot. Just because I know there's some legal questions that are being considered. And
The
so there
deadline
is
here is really, because this is a great question, because there's multiple deadlines. Right now, the most relevant deadline is September 20th, because under the city charter, council has 45 days to act from the date in which the clerk file was introduced. That 45-day clock ends on September 20th. There's a separate deadline that you have to meet in order to get on the February general election or the February special election ballot, but that's like in December. So we don't need to worry about that. The most relevant deadline is that one under the city charter.
So as long as we vote before the 20th, it doesn't matter if we take this time to answer some of the legal questions it sounds like some folks have
It would
on
not
the
impact
council.
it going on the February ballot, if that's what you're asking.
Yes, thank you so much.
I don't believe there are any further questions, so we will proceed to our next item, which is there is no presentation today, so we will move on to the introduction and referral calendar. If there is no objection, the introduction and referral calendar will be adopted. Hearing no objection, the introduction and referral calendar is adopted. And if there's no objection, the agenda will be adopted. Hearing none, the agenda is adopted. All right, so now we'll consider the proposed consent calendar, and the items on the consent calendar are the minutes of August 6, 2024, Council Bills 120841, 842, and 848, which are the payment of the bills, 7 appointments from the Governance, Accountability, and Economic Development Committee, and 6 appointments from the Parks, Public Utilities, and Technology Committee. Are there any items that council members would like removed from the consent calendar? All right, seeing none, I move to adopt the consent calendar. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. It's been moved and seconded to adopt the consent calendar. Will the clerk please call the roll on the adoption of the consent calendar?
Councilmember Hollingsworth?
Yes.
Councilmember Kettle? Councilmember Moore?
Aye.
Councilmember Morales?
Yes.
Councilmember Rivera?
Aye.
Councilmember Saka? Councilmember Strauss? Councilmember Wu? Council President Nelson?
Aye.
9 in favor, none opposed.
Thank you very much. The consent calendar items are adopted. Will the clerk please affix my signature to the minutes and legislation on the consent calendar on my behalf? All right, committee reports. Will the clerk please read item 1 into the record?
The report of the Parks, Public Utilities, and Technology Committee, Agenda Item 1, Appointment 2931, appointment of Rob Lloyd as Chief Technology Officer, Seattle Information Technology Department, for a term to August 1st, 2028. The committee recommends the appointment be confirmed.
Thank you very much. Councilmember Hollingsworth, as chair of the committee, you are recognized to provide the committee report.
Thank you, Madam President. Really excited for this appointment of Rob Lloyd as our Chief Technology Officer. In the previous committee meeting, I definitely want to take this time to thank Jim Loader, who was our interim director, thanking him for his dedicated service to our city for the technology department. For the last couple weeks, or couple months, excuse me, I feel like the time has gone by so fast. 2 months, thank you. I have known Rob Lloyd to be smart, forward thinker, innovative, focused on service, functionality, and fluidity for our city. He talked about how Seattle's known for a technology hub, innovation, and creativity. And there's no reason why our technology shouldn't be one of the best in the country. And I feel like we can continue to build on what we have here in the city of Seattle. He did not pay me to say this, so that's good. He did leave a 20 on my desk, though. Rob left the comforts of the Bay Area to see the greener Northwest, and I want to thank his family for making that jump too as well, and coming here, and I hope that you all love our city just as much as we do as well. But I believe that this job is incredibly important for the next steps in our city for us to have world-class services. So council members, looking for your support on this appointment, and I know that Director Lloyd's going to be phenomenal. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I was part of the committee, so I had a chance to say some comments and ask some questions. Are there any council members who wish to make any comments or ask any questions? All right, well, I will just note, I'll just repeat myself that we're darn fortunate that you have been interested in and stand poised to take on the role. And so with that, I would like to suspend the rules and provide for an opportunity for you to address the council. Oh, wait, excuse me. We're supposed to vote first. Hold on a second. That would be more celebratory. Would you please call the roll on the vote, please?
Councilmember Hollingsworth?
Yes.
Councilmember Kettle? Councilmember Moore?
Aye.
Councilmember Morales? Councilmember Rivera? Councilmember Saka? Councilmember Strauss? Councilmember Wu?
Yes.
Council President Nelson?
Aye.
9 in favor, none opposed.
Excellent. The appointment is confirmed. Congratulations, Chief Technology Officer Lloyd. You are now recognized in order to speak to the council. Come on ahead. Come on up here. Thank you very much.
Hello. Good afternoon, Council President Nelson, esteemed council members, and members of the public. My deep thanks to all of you and to all the individuals who contributed to the hiring process that brought me to the City of Seattle. The information technology team, my new department colleagues, and the many community members who I've met have been warm without exception. My family is with me today, and we are truly grateful to have been welcomed into this community and to call Seattle our home. I shared with the Parks and Public Utilities and Technology Committee and with Chair Hollingsworth that I was drawn to the City of Seattle by the One Seattle vision and my experiences with the Seattle colleagues over the years. The vision of tackling the toughest challenges of large cities, public safety, homelessness, blight, equity, transportation, climate, and sustainability, all head on through partnership with data and using technology and transformation. It matches my career's work, and you have defined a mission I am eager to help achieve. My Seattle colleagues and friends over the years have shown me that here are peers who help lead the way on the nation's critical issues. Since arriving, I have now met with over 300 Seattle IT teammates, department colleagues, and council members. It is clear that we have both the foundations and the inspiration to do the remarkable work that you have asked of us. I have shared with the Seattle IT team that we have 759,915 Seattleites counting on us, giving us compelling reason for excellence every day. Our mission, unleash the brilliance of 13,000 city employees, including our team in Seattle IT, in service to our community. Our focus is to empower our peers in departments to deliver exceptional municipal services and to achieve the mayor's and city council's direction. As resources become more limited and expectations remain high, technology is the bridge for the gap ahead. I have heard from departments and seen opportunities to improve the ease of our customer-facing processes for residents and staff, to enhance project effectiveness and road mapping, to continue our cybersecurity and resilience work, and to optimize our technology architecture and costs. Our staff and partners are aligned on these priorities, which will drive a culture of technology powered by people. Our culture, my commitment to you, and our community deserve this. You will have an IT partner that acts with integrity, collaborates readily, and that is masterfully good at leveraging technology and innovation to unlock the full potential of Seattle's people. I am earnestly excited about the future we are building together. Taking a moment, I would also like to recognize a few people. My colleague Jim Loader for his leadership and steadiness as interim CTO when it was needed so much. Dan Nolte, Vin Tang, Tracy Cantrell, Karen Eastby, and Marco Lowe, the quiet heroes who coordinate these personnel actions so well but don't get enough thanks. And to my wife, daughters, and in-laws who have been advocating for our move to Seattle. I mentioned to the committee that my wife was buying Kraken gear before she knew what sport they even played. And I am incredibly fortunate to have a loving and supportive family who understands how much the public mission means to me. Thank you for the action today. It is a gift to have this opportunity to serve Seattle, so thank you.
Thank you very much and welcome aboard. Thank you. Okay, will the clerk please read item 2 into the record?
Agenda item 2, Council Bill 120837, relating to Seattle Parks and Recreation, authorizing execution of the required harbor leases with the Washington State Department of Natural Resources for the North and South Leschi moorages and the Leschi South Public Moorage. Committee recommends the bill pass.
Thank you. Again, Councilmember Hollingsworth, this is, you can take the lead on this item.
Thank you, Madam President. We had a hefty Seattle Parks agenda, so I really appreciate it. So harbor leases, South Leschi Mirage, it's in District 3. Very important area, Washington State Department of Natural Resources. This would be a ordinance that would reestablish their lease. The South Leschi Mirage, they do a great job of taking care of that area. And we passed this 5 in support, none opposed. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Do council members have any questions or comments about this legislation? All right, seeing none, will the clerk please call the roll on the passage of the bill?
Councilmember Hollingsworth? Yes. Councilmember Kettle? Councilmember Moore?
Aye.
Councilmember Morales? Councilmember Rivera?
Aye.
Councilmember Saka? Councilmember Strauss? Councilmember Wu? Council President Nelson?
Aye.
9 in favor, none opposed.
The bill passes and the chair will sign it. Will the clerk please affix my signature to the legislation on my behalf? All right, will the clerk please read item 3 into the record?
Agenda item 3, Council Bill 120819, related to drainage services for Seattle Public Utilities, adjusting drainage rates. The committee recommends the bill pass as amended.
Thank you very much. Councilmember Hollingsworth, please go ahead.
Thank you, Madam President. I'll be super quick. This is regarding drainage rates with Seattle Public Utilities. I know that our committee and other members have expressed about affordability and keeping rates low. Director Andrew Lee is always mentioning that with operations and functionality, and this passed 5 in favor, none opposed. We'll shortly hear about our wastewater services, which is also very similar to our ordinance on the drainage as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Again, any questions or comments? All right, seeing none, will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Hollingsworth?
Yes.
Councilmember Kettle?
Aye.
Councilmember Moore?
Aye.
Councilmember Morales?
Yes.
Councilmember Rivera?
Aye.
Councilmember Saka?
Aye.
Councilmember Strauss?
Yes.
Councilmember Wu?
Yes.
Council President Nelson?
Aye.
9 in favor, none opposed.
Thank you very much. The bill passes and the chair will sign it. Will the clerk please affix my signature to the legislation on my behalf? All right, moving on to item 4. Will the clerk please read the title into the record?
Agenda item 4, Council Bill 120820, related to wastewater services of Seattle Public Utilities, adjusting wastewater rates. The committee recommends the bill pass.
All right, Councilmember Hollingsworth.
Thank you, Council President. I promise y'all only have one more after this. This is the wastewater services. Also, people have talked about rates. I think our Seattle Public Utilities have done a phenomenal job ensuring that we have programs to make sure that people can apply to them for affordability, and also to keep our rates as low as possible for all the infrastructure we're building and the rising costs of just operating in our city. So this passed 5 in favor and none opposed, and would love your support. Thank you.
All right, questions, comments? Okay, thank you very much. Will the clerk please call the roll on the passage of the bill?
Councilmember Hollingsworth? Yes. Councilmember Kettle? Councilmember Moore?
Aye.
Councilmember Morales? Councilmember Rivera?
Aye.
Councilmember Saka? Councilmember Strauss?
Yes.
Councilmember Wu?
Yes.
Council President Nelson?
Aye.
9 in favor, none opposed.
All right, the bill passes and the chair will sign it. Will the clerk please affix my signature to the legislation on my behalf? Before moving on to the next one, I do want to note that these regard rates that our constituents are paying. And I just want it to be known that before we get to this place taking a vote, there is extensive research by our council central staff. The advisory board of the Seattle Public Utilities weighs in on the rate proposal, and there is conversation during the committee. So public, please be aware that although we are moving fairly quickly between these items, there has been a lot of work that led up to this point. All right, will the clerk please read item 5 into the record?
Agenda item 5, resolution 32136 relating to Seattle Public Utilities adopting a 2025 through 2030 strategic business plan for the Seattle Public Utilities and endorsing a 3-year rate path and a subsequent 3-year rate forecast to support the strategic business plan update. The committee recommends the resolution be adopted.
Thank you. Go ahead, Councilmember Hollingsworth.
Thank you, Madam President. I appreciate you also articulating that regarding the rate paths and how much time and energy goes into, forecasting that and making sure that, we're keeping rates as affordable as possible. So that's really, really important. Our strategic 3-year plan, this was presented on 3 times in committee, and this also we had a extensive memo from Brian Goodnight, circulated around to staff regarding just giving us little information of the history and looking forward, making sure that we had all the information necessary about this. Want to thank Seattle Public Utilities and Director Andrew Lee for their phenomenal work. Like I said, one of the biggest things that I talk to my colleagues about always is affordability piece. And I know one thing that's on our mind consistently is the affordability piece with Seattle, also keeping up with the infrastructure investments and the growth and our aging infrastructure that we have in Seattle, and also the topography in our Seattle. We have a lot of hills. There's a lot of stuff that goes into getting our Seattle Public Utilities on point through the city. So definitely want to thank them for their strategic plan, and also this pass 5 in favor and none opposed, and looking forward to my colleagues' support on this as well. Thank you.
Councilmember Rivera.
Yes, thank you, Council President, and thank you, Councilmember Hollingsworth. I just wanted to add to what you both said about the ratepayer and keeping rates as low as possible. In addition to the conversations at committee, we each individually engage in conversation with Director Lee about this particular topic. I know I've talked to him about it as well. The concern about we have a great utility discount program, but we know that the AMI on there is a little, it's still too high for some folks to be able to qualify. And so I've had conversations, as I'm sure you all have, with Director Lee about what can we continue to do to expand that to folks that are particularly on the border of that, being able to qualify for utility discount program, and what can we do for those folks. And I know there are conversations about relooking at the AMI for that particular discount program. So just know I want to add my voice to yours in terms of this is important to the constituency and the district I represent, and also to the constituency across the district. And no, we don't enter and pass these pieces of legislation lightly. We have these conversations, and then we continue to work on how we can support our constituents that this will be a difficult, raise increase for. So we have all of those conversations, and I just wanted to echo and reiterate that. Thank you.
Thank you for those comments. Anybody else? All right. I do have one question. So we've addressed many of the lines of business of Seattle Public Utilities. What about household hazardous waste?
That's a good question.
I don't mean to put you on the spot.
No, you're good. You did, but it's okay.
No.
No, you're good. The hazardous waste, are you talking about with the services, like the ordinance?
Yes.
Yeah. That's something I'd have to check in. I know that a lot of those, like for example, if you have a car wash, those are different waste services than, your typical garbage can, right? So that's something I'd have to get back to you on.
Thank you, and I can I'll also ask my own questions. Thank you. Shouldn't have put you on the spot there. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Okay, will the clerk please call the roll on the legislation?
Councilmember Hollingsworth,
Yes.
Councilmember Kettle,
Aye.
Councilmember Moore,
Aye.
Councilmember Morales, Councilmember Rivera,
Aye.
Councilmember Saka,
Aye.
Councilmember Strauss,
Yes.
Councilmember Wu, Council President Nelson.
Aye.
9 in favor, none opposed.
All right, the resolution is adopted and the chair will sign it. Will the clerk please affix my signature to the legislation on my behalf? Okay, moving to a different committee. Will the clerk please read item 6 into the record?
The report of the Sustainability, City Light, Arts, and Culture Committee, Agenda Item 6, Council Bill 120-840, relating to City Light Department, amending Section 21.49.100 of the Seattle Municipal Code to authorize electric vehicle charging stations to submeter electricity. The committee recommends the bill pass.
Thank you very much. Councilmember Wu is chair of the committee. You're recognized to provide the committee report.
Thank you. It's my turn, and I only have 3. I'll try to make this go fast. So this council bill will allow submetering electricity for public electric vehicle chargers in parking facilities that usually have a common shared electric service. So these are dedicated parking spaces like in multifamily buildings, like in the garage. So submetering is the practice of installing a customer-owned electric meter downstream from a utility meter. And so remember, this is at cost. These separate submetering units, they're not allowed to, bring up the cost of charging other fees. The submeter measures how many electricity is provided to the end user. And so currently the Seattle Municipal Code prohibits city light customers from reselling submeter electricity with exemptions for houseboats and mobile home parks. This bill would amend the municipal code to explicitly allow submetering of electricity for EV charging. And with our EV goals in mind, the committee recommends that we pass the bill.
Thank you very much. Are there any questions or comments? All right, well, thank you very much. Back in the day when I chaired City Light, I was very focused on expanding our electric vehicle charging network. So I didn't participate much in this legislation, but thank you very much for leading us through it. Will the clerk please call the roll on the passage of the bill?
Councilmember Hollingsworth,
Yes.
Councilmember Kettle, Councilmember Moore,
Aye.
Councilmember Morales,
Yes.
Councilmember Rivera,
Aye.
Councilmember Saka, Councilmember Strauss, Councilmember Wu,
Yes.
Council President Nelson.
Aye.
9 in favor, none opposed.
Thank you very much. The bill passes and the chair will sign it. Will the clerk please affix my signature to the legislation on my behalf? All right, moving on to item 7. Will the clerk please read item 7 into the record?
Agenda Item 7, Resolution 32130, relating to City Light Department endorsing City Light's wholesale energy risk management policy, which governs wholesale energy transmission and ancillary service trading, including renewable energy credits and greenhouse gas offsets. The committee recommends the resolution be adopted as amended.
Councilmember Wu, you're welcome to lead us through this one.
So the Wholesale Energy Risk Management Policy, otherwise known as WERM, is the city's governance framework for City Light to mitigate financial risk resulting from City Light's buying and selling of the wholesale energy market and related products. The council has passed this resolution, or the committee has passed this resolution that better represents council interest. And this policy was first modified to retain council's authority to adopt amendments to the WERM policy, require regular financial risk status reports to council, and require annual internal audits. It also requires an assessment and scoping for an independent audit every 5 years, and asserts the affirmative responsibility of the City Light General Manager, the CFO, Director of Risk Oversight, City Light's internal audit team, to report to the City Council and the Mayor any failure to implement WERM policy that creates significant financial risk to the city. And so the second amendment to the resolution changed recitals consistent with the changes in the first resolution. I appreciate the collaboration of City Light staff and council staff to revise this WERM policy. This took a couple of months, but the committee recommends the resolution as amended.
Thank you very much. Questions or comments from my colleagues?
I have a question, comment.
Yes, please, go ahead.
Thank you, Chair. I just wanted to thank, excuse me, Councilman. I wanted to thank Chair Wu for holding this legislation after the original committee meeting in March, and I wanted to call out your collaborative work with central staff and with City Light. I believe it resulted in a much better policy, including clear timelines for independent audits, and very importantly, a continued Seattle City Council role. So thank you for your leadership on this, Chair Wu.
Yes, thank you. When you mentioned that, I noticed that this was referred on March 12th. So clearly there was a lot of work in the meantime. So thank you very much for taking that leadership. All right. Will the clerk please call the roll on the passage of the legislation?
Councilmember Hollingsworth,
Yes.
Councilmember Kettle,
Aye.
Councilmember Moore,
Aye.
Councilmember Morales, Councilmember Rivera,
Aye.
Councilmember Saka,
Aye.
Councilmember Strauss, Councilmember Wu,
Yes.
Council President Nelson.
Aye.
9 in favor, none opposed.
Thank you very much. The resolution is adopted and the chair will sign it. Will the clerk please affix my signature to the legislation on my behalf? All right, moving into our last item, item 8. Will the clerk please read item 8 into the record?
Agenda item 8, Resolution 32139, related to the City Light Department adopting a 2025 through 2030 strategic plan update for the City Light Department and endorsing the associated 6-year rate path. The committee recommends the resolution be adopted as amended.
Thank you very much. Please walk us through this one, Councilmember Wu.
Thank you. So this is the last one, I promise. So this is very similar to Seattle Public Utilities strategic business plan. This is City Light's strategic plan and also the endorsement of their rate path. And we really considered this, and just like SBU's strategic plan, we asked a lot of questions, we had memos, we had briefings. We spent a lot of time in committee talking about this because we understood that there are a lot of, not only was SBU looking at a rate path, but we were as well. And with a lot of levies that have coming through this year and coming forward, we know we wanted to consider what our constituents would be paying. So we took a lot of time to understand assumptions for rates, increases in costs that utilities all over the world needed to adapt to. I want to especially thank Councilmember Moore for your amendment calling for full enrollment of eligible customers in the program and requesting City Light, Seattle Public Utilities, and the Human Services Department to evaluate UDP enrollment and report to Council. I look forward to bringing Seattle City Light back to my committee to discuss the reporting on UDP enrollment, and I believe that UDP is the single best way to assist our income qualifying neighbors with their utility costs. I also want to thank central staff as well as Seattle City Light for walking us through this, and the committee recommends this passing.
Thank you very much. Councilmember Moore, would you like to speak to this legislation?
Yes, thank you very much, Council President. Again, I wanted to commend Chair Wu on your stewardship and leadership on this. It was due to your extensive written questions and answers that we were able to engage in a really robust discussion with the committee. I was not comfortable with the rate path that was put forth because I do think it actually understates what we're going to be seeing in the years to come. But I appreciated the opportunity to have that discussion and for a very frank discussion, I think, from City Light, and I appreciated their willingness to be transparent. And as I said at committee, I just hope that those discussions give them the courage to move forward with more accurate rate paths in the future. But again, thank you for your leadership on this to make that possible. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Are there any questions or comments, closing comments? Thank you very much. So will the clerk please call the roll on the passage of the legislation?
Councilmember Hollingsworth,
Yes.
Councilmember Kettle, Councilmember Moore,
Aye.
Councilmember Morales, Councilmember Rivera,
Aye.
Councilmember Saka,
Aye.
Councilmember Strauss, Councilmember Wu,
Yes.
Council President Nelson.
Aye.
9 in favor, none opposed.
Thank you very much. The resolution is adopted and the chair will sign it. Will the clerk please affix my signature to the legislation on my behalf? Okay, there were no items removed from the consent calendar, and there's not a resolution for introduction and adoption today. So if there is no further business, well, I will ask an open-ended question. Is there any further business? Go ahead, Councilmember
Thank you,
Morales.
Council President. I just, because we made this committee switch during recess, I want to make sure that the Land Use Committee and the viewing public are reminded that we do have a special Land Use Committee meeting tomorrow at 9:30. We'll be getting briefed on 4 separate bills. They're pretty meaty. And the briefing memos and presentations are already linked on the Land Use Committee agenda. So please make sure you have a chance to look at those. So we'll have the briefings in the morning, and then at 2 o'clock we'll have public hearing on 3 of the bills, including the bill related to congregate residences, design review exemptions, and omnibus legislation. So it's going to be a long day. I will try to make sure that the morning meeting is kept to 2 hours. We'll take a recess until 2 o'clock, and then we'll reconvene.
Thank you. Just for my information, are these are first discussions of this legislation, correct?
Yes, so there will be discussion in the morning, briefing, hearing in the afternoon, and then we will hear all of the bills again at the next Land Use Committee meeting.
Got it. I'm just tracking the vote in full council, and so trying to think about when that will be. All right, does anybody have any additional business? All right, seeing none, it's great to see you all after such a break. Then this council meeting is adjourned. It is now 3:32, and our next council meeting is next week, September 10th. Thank you all. Bye-bye.